Can the Jets get by with their depth at safety? We're going to talk about it. What is going on, Jet fans? Matt O'Leary back with another video. Today I want to talk about the Jets' safety depth. It's a lot of youth, and I want to talk through it and see if the Jets could get by with that. Before we get started, Matt O'Leary NY on socials, and also please make sure to check out the Just Jets podcast. New episodes drop every single Wednesday. So we know Jordan Whitehead and Adrian Amos are going to be the New York Jets starting safety duo. You would imagine that Amos is going to play free safety, and then at strong safety is going to be Jordan Whitehead, even though, yes, both have kind of played both positions, but Amos is more the free safety of the two of them. Moral of the story, beyond that, after the Chuck Clark injury, they really don't have a ton of depth. It's a lot of young guys. Well, they have depth, but they're young guys who don't have a ton of experience. So I want to talk through each one of their depth options, and we'll kind of come up together with the conclusion whether it's enough or not. So the guy the Jets like the most, and honestly, probably my favorite depth option on this team, is Tony Adams. He was a 2022 undrafted free agent, and he played a little bit last year for the New York Jets. 17 tackles in 11 games, 118 snaps total. So not a ton, but he did get a little experience, and I thought he was okay. He played mostly at free safety. He could also play as a slot corner due to his size, but he's 5'11", 203, so that's why slot corner kind of makes sense for him. But he has really, really good speed and an elite level vertical, by the way. 4.47 40-yard dash is 82nd percentile. So I think his speed at the position projects him more to be a free safety. I would think their plan would be for him to be that converted free safety project, kind of like weird, but kind of like what Jason Pinnock was supposed to be. And then they let him go and he's starting playoff games for the Giants. Very strange roster construction last year that they did that, but story for another day. Tony Adams kind of feels like that this year. He didn't start for the team last year and he won't start for the team this year, but in a pinch, could he come into play? I think he can, and with him being the third safety, personally, I've made it pretty clear that I would like to add some more proven depth there, but if they don't, Tony Adams is the one that I am most comfortable with getting playing time. Then there's Trey Dean, who is a 2023 undrafted free agent. He's a little bit bigger, 6'2", 200 pounds, big, long safety who probably honestly could have been a late round pick in this year's draft, but he ends up being a priority free agent. He can cover a big tight end due to his size, obviously at 6'2". Now his 40 time wasn't great, but he was able to hang with guys going deep on tape, so that's really all that matters. But really good RAS score, really no surprise. The Jets love guys with good RAS scores. And due to his size, he's usually in good positions to break up passes. His downside, though, not a very good tackler. Missed 16% of his tackles at his 5 years at Florida, only 3 career interceptions, so he's not your prototypical take the ball away kind of safety, which kind of is fitting because the Jets don't really have a guy like that on the roster, but there's a chance Trey Dean could stick. They're going to need to carry a couple of safeties, obviously, beyond the 2 starters, so I'm curious to see who they end up keeping around, but he's definitely someone who makes the list. Then you have Jarek Converse, who was a 2023 6th-round pick for the New York Jets. He played last year at LSU. Before that, he was playing at Oklahoma State, and he is going to be a project. I don't think he's in play for this year. I think this is more of a draft and stash for at least the first season and try to develop him a little bit more. He was drafted as a corner and played pretty much exclusively corner in college football, but he is someone that they view who could make that transition at the next level. So technically was a corner pick, but more than likely is someone who is going to transition to safety at the next level. In college in 2018 and 2019 at Oklahoma State, he did play a little bit at free safety, but other than that, it was mostly corner. So again, probably more of a project, but I thought it was worthwhile to include him on this list. And then you have Ashton Davis, 2020 3rd-round pick, controversial player. People either seem to love him or can't stand him. He played just 13 snaps on defense last year after having pretty significant playing time in 2021. In 745 snaps in 2021, he missed 12.9% of his tackles. He allowed 120.6 passer rating allowed, so he's not really all that great in coverage. He's an athlete. Like, he was a Cal track star, and he also played football there. And I think his football skills are a little bit behind where he is athletically. He was taken in the 3rd round because of just, he was a good athlete. And he actually, to his credit, he's come up with a couple interceptions in his career and had a really big one in the game against Cleveland this year on one of his 13 snaps. He basically did not play at all defensively. He was a special teamer. And if he sticks around this year, it will because of his special teams. But he, to his credit, is able to take the ball away. His pursuit angles when going to make tackles is just way off usually. So unless he's developed even more so this year, which I guess there's a chance that could be the case, he might have a hard time making this roster. But those are the guys behind the starting duo. I don't know if that's enough. Again, I would like probably another veteran mixed in, but the Jets do have youth, and it seems like they are going to trust that youth. And of that group, I think Tony Adams is the one that I personally would trust the most, but I'm curious to hear what you think about the position and the youth at the position for depth. Do you think it's good? Who do you like? Sound off below. I am Matt O'Leary, and I will catch you next time.